All right, so we're live for the first time in I think it's been 2 weeks. No, Salva?
Oh my god. How long has it been?
Dude, it got
The
so
whole
bad.
three regions finished their split already. We
Yeah,
already got
playoffs
the seeding.
happen.
We already got the seedings from Masters Shanghai. The copium after TS loss is already
God, don't
finished.
even remind me, man. Holy, I felt bad, but like when I started to believe them. Wait, Facebook's not up yet. Hold on, real quick. What does it say? Test broadcast. Wait, we're gonna have to take two on the. Yeah. Okay. So again, some weird things have happened over the last couple of weeks, right? So Mochi got sick, Matt got sick, Salva got sick. Like I think even I got sick at some point. My God, right? Then we didn't get to talk about playoffs and who was winning, right? We didn't have any predictions for that to happen. But well, I think we're all good right now. And we're back. Right now, Dash and Yuuske aren't with us at the moment. They're gonna catch up if they can. Like I don't know, man. We Salvatore, we have had quite a few problems happen. Okay, so Dash, he said, okay, maybe I can join the podcast tonight, and he told me that his this guy has terrible misfortune, right? A couple of weeks ago, or was it just last week? Like, there was a freaking fire, right? Really unfortunate incident. Luckily, their
Oof.
main house didn't get affected. Then today, right? He posted it, and he's like, "Oh, at least my setup's fine. I can smile and continue the grind tomorrow." But today, apparently, his desk has fallen apart, and he's trying to salvage it and make sure everything works. before you can join us. As for Yusuke, I don't know if Yusuke has fallen asleep. It's fine. It's a normal occurrence, right? We're night owls here, and interesting things happen.
It was a weird couple of weeks for the start of May. A lot of things happened. Some unfortunate and some like a hidden blessing to us. It was just kind of weird. It was not just within our circle, no, just Suave. It was also one of my friends also got sick. Well, not one of them, like most of them got sick for
Bam.
some apparent reason. So yeah, opening up May, not really the best, but the weeks after that, like playoffs happened, the seedings for Master Shanghai
Oh
is
man,
now
things got
released,
so spicy.
and
The
I'm so
playoffs.
surprised with the results.
Wow, yeah, dude. We looked at. Well, we're talking about Pacific specifically, but later on we're gonna talk about the other regions because of course Shanghai is coming up. But for Pacific, right, we had DRX who had a perfect run in Split One, got eliminated in fourth place, if I'm not mistaken. And I'm like in my head, I'm like, what is this? Right? Because in my
Yeah,
head, like
man, the format.
DRX were like they're finally back. They're the kings of Korea and the kings of the Pacific once more. Because they have a perfect 5-0 in the first split. Then they lose in playoffs.
And that I don't think there was no one to blame actually. It's just it was just an all out unfortunate happenings as to how DRX really tackled that series. No, there was no one to blame. There was no format. The format is too bad. That's gonna save you. Just I was just in awe as like how they collapsed in the map that they were supposed to take over. Like,
Oh
whoa.
man, that was so weird. Wait, I'll actually try to pull up the VLR page for that series in particular, or maybe just like Pacific playoffs, right? But anyway, yeah, that's us. This guy has been grinding, right? I have recently had the opportunity to cast some local teams in Predator Gaming's Kings of PH, and I think that's gonna be some pertinent information for later. This guy though, he got the opportunity to cast some crossfire
Whoop
with some of the
whoop.
goats in the industry, right? You were casting alongside Rockhart, the
Oh yeah.
mods, right? Taylor and Vil, who were at this point, right? You can't talk about VCTPH without those two. And man, things got real interesting for the last few weeks. I got super busy. I got to watch party, dude. I got to watch
Oh
party for
yeah.
Predator Gaming, right? Alongside Maggie Carp, G Insanity, Narpim,
How'd
and
that
Berg.
go?
It was fun. It was fun. Yeah, the official Predator Gaming watch party, right? But I also witnessed Gen G fail to become the second so to win a second regional title, right? Because it was a 3-3. Was it a 3-2? I think it was a 3-2
Yeah, it was a 3-2.
for uh for Paper Rex in the end of it. And it was what in my head it was like, what the heck, dude? Like the last map where we everyone thought that Gen G, this was not supposed to be an icebox map. I mean, icebox not to be supposed to be a Gen G map, and like because they've banned this map quite a few times, so we're like, and maybe they're hiding some strats. I don't know. We don't know, and they proceed to lose. So again, Paper X are back on top, and that's insane to think about too, because we thought again, we thought that Gen G were looking insane. We thought that T1 were looking insane, right? And like, DRX eliminated in fourth behind T1. Okay,
Oh my god, man.
yeah. Kim, if
That's
you want to show the screen, that'd be
show it.
great. So
Show it.
I'm little recap for those who have not been able to watch the playoffs last time. Yeah, it was a 3-2 series. Paper X won against Gen G. But before that, if you want to talk
Oh.
about DRX, right? Look at this. DRX had a buy. They didn't need to worry about talent, didn't need to worry about Paper X until later on. But I don't know if this is their misfortune, but they would have had to take down Paper X anyway, right? They lose 1-2 to Paper X, drop down into lowers, who this is a funny part, right? Because Gen G, they lose to T1 in the best of three, fall down. It's Gen G versus DRX, right? You look at this. They lose 2-1 to the eventual first and second seeds for the Pacific region. And T1 up against Paper X, right? They drop into lowers, then they have to fight Genji, who embarrassingly, I'd hate to say this, but they got embarrassed with a 3-0, right? This T1 team that I think have been tremendously good this entire split, who have switched their IGL to Excurate, who have had so much success, taken down some of the biggest baddies in the entire region, right? 2-0ing Team Secret, our co-PM team, proceed to fall in third place as well. Like, this playoffs is wild, and it's not. I don't like. We're past the part like the format's bad. The format's terrible.
Oh my
I
god.
think we move on from that because there's playoffs already. Because I mean, at least in playoffs we have a good format, right? No round differential to worry about. No freaking map differential. It's just nice, clean, win the match, move on with your life, right?
Oh.
And somehow this ends with a Paper X Gen G 3-2. Like I think the third map for this series,
Yeah, I
this
really
one, right?
uh,
This
uh,
was Icebox. In my head, this should have been the Gen G win. 11-13, dude. This map, I was sitting there convinced, right? They in the watch party, I was with G and Sanity and Maggie Carp, and we were both like, "Oh no, it's gonna be a 3-1." Then
okay.
Paper Rex win the freaking map. We were just like, "What is this?" Because they were firing on all cylinders. Man, look at this. Forsaken something at 25, 17, 16. Holy balls, man. And Munchkin was just not having his a good day on Icebox in particular, which is it's kind of weird, right, Salva? I mean, we
Yeah,
usually see Munchkin kind of popping off, and I think maybe that might have been the reason why they weren't able to like win this series. I
I'm
don't
so
know.
surprised. Like out of all the players that was supposed to outshine Munchkin, you gotta give it to Forsaken, man. So there's this just weird spectrum as to how Forsaken really just plays inside playoffs. So whether you give Forsaken a playoff spot and a master spot, he always underperforms. And I'm so surprised that this series, the most important series for PRX after just having a very lackluster, well, not lackluster, it's an overstatement, probably the least expected kickoff performance, and now entering into stage one, you see Forsaken just going mind-boggling plays all over, just showing how truly flexible he is. And he has defeated like 2 3 roles in just one series. That's Munchkin. I don't think
Oh
it was
my.
debatable as to how Caron he outsmoked, how he helped propel Mind Freak into a position where he would outshine Caron. And then Texture, well, I wouldn't give a Texture. Well, after all, he did beat a region record for most kills in a best of 5.
Oh
And
yeah.
that's just so much to intake as to how Forsaken really did a huge part and a huge role in this series. And yeah, I just hope Munchkin really does deliver in his Master Shanghai trip, because Munchkin did had a good Madrid and a kickoff performance. So it's just really sad as to how Munchkin just tackled
Yeah.
so much of a problem. So it's just a good thing that Texture and Lakia still we're still on the consistent banner as to with how Genji really performs, no? So it's like they still deliver when whatever situation they are given to. So looking at the maps, I'm so surprised that Paper Rex still hasn't got Lotus, and
Right?
still hasn't got Lotus right. So Paper Rex, I'm pretty sure they had a 5-0 start. Don't get I watched it
It was a
up
four
until that point.
zero.
It was a 4-0 start. Paper Rex fixed the breach problem. Finally, I was like, "Yo, they were doing so much good things with Forsaken and Mind Freak now." Damn, that second half, what the hell happened? Then Genji proceeded to take 5 rounds. I was like, "Yo, why is Texture getting these kills? Why are Jing and Forsaken overstepping again?" I'm like, man, Lotus, they can't just get it right. When are they gonna get Lotus right? Yeah, but it's not how you start; it's how you finish. They got split.
Yeah.
Hooray for them! So congratulations to Paper X.
Yeah, congrats to Paper X. And I mean, either way, these two teams are gonna make it to Shanghai. T1's gonna be there too, so they do have a little bit of time to to fix things up before moving on to Shanghai. And speaking of Shanghai, or maybe before we talk about Shanghai, let's give it a little bit of a throwback, right? We had predictions during Split One, and so behind the scenes, we were keeping tabs on who had the best prediction rates for the entire split. Take it away, Kim.
Don't take it away, Kim.
It's this graphic, dude. It's so funny. Mizuki put this together,
I
right?
wanna
Look at that.
I wanna I wanna look at the brain who thought of this would be a pretty good idea putting clown stuff on Salvatore. Actually, it's a pretty good idea. It just happens to be me.
I mean, yeah, it just happens to be you, because like, yeah, okay. Quick story. This guy was a GE believer early in the split.
Can we get a reset on the correct? Can we get a reset on this one?
I think we're gonna get, yeah, we're probably gonna reset
Yes.
the rankings and stuff for split two. We do have more predictions coming up, of course, because Shanghai is coming, and I love I love how Shanghai is going. Right, we're gonna have again the Swiss stage, and I like this because the Swiss stage is interesting. Right, you get the second and third seeds from each region here in the Swiss stage, and then uh the first seeds essentially get what, a week of rest, because they get to
Yup.
watch the Swiss stage happen, right? They
Yeah.
they get some VOD review time, and they have basically a lot of film on whoever gets out of the group stage, which is going to be pretty insane. So right now, the teams we have for Shanghai, that's for EMEA, that's Heretics Foot, G2, Heretics Foot, and wait, who's the third seed from?
It's I think
Hold on,
it's
there,
third seed
teams.
from what region?
Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Where am I? Why am I not seeing the?
Wait, let me remember.
Oh wait, because these are the second and third seeds, right? So
Yeah,
for EMEA, it's Foots and Heretics, and Fnatic, who's gonna be going straight to playoffs. You got G2 Leviathan here for Americas. First place will be, wait, who won that?
it was
Oh, it was 100
it
T.
was
They
100
3-0'd G2, right?
Whoa.
My God, Boostio might be the goated IGL.
Damn, our expectations
Our
of
short king.
man, he was. I couldn't believe in one whole split he out IGL Sad Hack, Ethan, and just the amount of firepower he brought. Even Zeppa, like
Yeah,
those three minds combined make up a very bloated, so out of this world play Boostio. And and
it's so good.
just looking at the teams competing in Shanghai. This is going to be like a huge test to Boostio because
Oh yeah,
we all know how he handled Champions LA. That's a whole different ball game because he was kind of sharing the IGL with Ethan. So now just him being the
the
sole
solo
IGL.
IGL. Yeah,
Oh man, this is going to be really really good for him.
yeah, it's gonna be so juicy. And I mean, to finally see like 100 Thieves like bloom again. Right, the last time they got a title in Americas was First Strike, which was 3 years ago, before VCT was a thing, before I was playing in the game. Probably before this guy started watching any kind of Valorant, right?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Before even I started playing Valorant.
That's how long it was. And Austin has been on this team for the longest time. Like, people have been
Even-
saying that, oh, he's maybe one of the most overrated players here because he's never won anything, blah 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 blah. And he's been like, if Sentinels has tens, 100 Thieves has Asuna. And to finally see Asuna like just like go wild with a great IGL and a system that works around him is insane, dude. I mean, I think it just goes to show, like, if you have a good system, doesn't matter if you're you're the best opera, the best racer, the best jet, right? You have a working system, not just a good IGL, but a working system around you where you trust your teammates and everything works, and you've had enough time to rest and there's no burnout, right? Then greatness can be expected because Bustia, of course, world champion IGL, right? And on the other side of the spectrum, Sentinels, Loud, who came from Madrid, who did not have any rest, who had some visa issues and whatnot, and having so much footage on them, they're nowhere to be seen here. And it's like, damn, right? Like maybe there should be some time, some rest in between. Like as a Sentinels fan, right? Maybe it's a good thing that Sentinels isn't in Shanghai because at the end of the road they're still champions, right?
Man, you just
Wow.
gotta you just gotta give it, man.
Yeah, I don't know.
The sheer amount of grit, and this is a huge punch to the face to NRG, who solely
Oh
built
yeah,
a
man.
this is
Oh my god.
this is a roster built around a system that works for everyone. And this is a true testament as to what you should do to a roster. Take a look at NRG. It's a meshed up
It's a
five
super team,
champions.
supposedly.
It's supposedly a super team, but there was no way there was no way getting out of the how are we going to execute this sort of mental
Yeah,
block,
because
because
like
there were role issues, there were agent issues, and
your
worst of all,
IGL,
your
they don't have
IG.
to call it IGL, right? It's Ethan kind of calling, and then everyone just like
And
following along.
I'm surprised that the person that got benched for NRG was the
Was
person that was doing
Marv?
well.
Like, what is Marv doing on the bench? Like, I don't know, dude. I don't know. Maybe just
Oh
like, to be
man.
fair, like who else on the roster for NRG should be IGLing, right? Because Marv IGL'd for Sentinels for a bit, but that wasn't a lot. Demon One definitely not gonna be mature enough to IGL, right? Because this guy's supposed to be locked into the dual role or to the chamber or whatever the hell it is that he's using, right? And then Victor Crashies, I just don't
I just
know.
feel bad for him. I just feel bad for Victor and Crashies. Like the system for Victor and Crashies was just trust the amount of IQ generated by FNS making those plays for Victor and Crashies to excel really carved the
Yeah,
way to such a successful 2023 for those two players, no. So now looking at it in a way that FNS is now a full-time streamer, just looking at how much regressed from NRG to being
man,
like the top
right?
teams and just not even qualifying for two Masters straight. Man,
In a row, right?
it,
Two Masters straight.
it's just too much to handle. Like they had like a very it was an opener for them to face Loud, who had visa issues. So they went 2-0 on that one, and then it just went downhill after that. Just getting punched to the gut by Leviathan, just realizing, nah, we won Loud, we won against Loud, and then they faced Leviathan, and then
Yeah, it's like we won against Loud, but now what?
but now there was no translation to that. There was no sort of motivation. It was still stagnant to them. So I used to be an energy believer last year when it was Ardis who was just doing all of the stuff for them in FNS. And then just seeing them now, I was like so excited for the off season because Demon One and Ethan and then Marv got in. Like they were supposed to be the ones to be qualifying for both Madrid and Shanghai. And then,
Yeah,
surprisingly enough, this iteration of Masters was like the super most unexpected version of Masters because the amount of teams that we all had in our head didn't even manage to qualify.
I mean,
uh,
Loud not being here after basically being in every international event since 2021 question mark, right? This is the first international event that they've missed, and my god, there's also rumors about Loud kind of blowing up the roster because there's rumors about NRG maybe wanting to replace some people on the team with Les and Sadak. So if that happens, who's getting replaced on NRG and who's gonna change the people on Loud? And then there's also the question about what the hell MIBR is doing, having 0 wins, right? But what the heck, dude?
yeah,
Oh my
this is
god!
going to be this is not just going to be a very spicy split one, but the off season after Shanghai is going to be like so controversial. Just the amount of rosters in just the amount of roster changes or even like ambience changes that will happen throughout the whole regions in a way, just to get that bit of edge entering into champions Chengdu, if I'm not mistaken. What's going to be the venue? I think.
Shanghai,
Let me,
Shanghai.
no, the champions,
Oh,
Valorant
champions! It's in
champions.
Korea, dude. It's in
Oh, it's in
Korea.
Korea. Okay, so
Champion
Korea.
Seoul, Champion Seoul.
Okay, okay, there we go, champion Soul. So yeah,
I think you're
so
thinking of IEM Chengdu. We're in the wrong tech
oh
FPS.
yeah, I'm so sorry. I've been tuning at the wrong game. The
I mean,
Chengdu
we're
was
even
happening on
tuning
the
into
other game.
3 games, dude. 3 games,
I was
okay?
watching on three
We
games.
do not have lives.
I'm sorry. My whole lifestyle was I watch these games for review, so I have content, and then I immediately forget them after,
Yep.
which is
Yep.
very surprising. But I really do want to talk about our favorites heading into Shanghai, because this is one of like what I would call a melting pot of a competitive tournament, because
God, yeah, dude.
you have so much mixed up, and the expectations were already damn well, except for Pacific, because those three teams were very expected. But looking at
Oh yeah.
EMEA, Americas, and CN, it was it was so surprising to say that it was so surprising. So I would like to have some inputs from the man himself, Jiswabe, as to um per region, probably, well, let's include the top seed, because we'll never know what would happen inside Shanghai. What do you think per region? A
Hi
standout.
Mito. Hi Rafael. Welcome to the stream, guys. Yeah. Dude, to me, this I think my favorites here, I think Team Heretics have kind of taken a hit because of some of the changes, right? You had Woot step in for Miniboo because Miniboo has taken a break. I think that's gonna affect them adversely. And you have Foot, who have seen it. They have seen it, and Foot look extremely good. This Turkish team, my God, right? Turkish super team. I think this is it. What they are right now. Then, of course, for Pacific, what can I say, man? Gen G, Paper X, they all look good. T1 maybe a little bit lower in the tiers, but I think if you were to compare them to Team Heretics, they'd definitely be higher. And okay, and no no hate intended, right? But the Chinese teams are so far behind the curve right now. I honestly think we're not gonna see any standout performances from them unless or before champions.
Yeah.
So, because I mean, dude, EDG is the only ones that are consistently getting these wins, and whenever they do get wins or when they get bumped out of the tournament, remember last time, Loud 2-0'd EDG in Madrid, and it was a 13-2, 13-3.
Oh,
My God, dude, that's embarrassing. On the other hand, Leviathan, I think they look really good.
oh yeah.
Uh, it took them a while to gel, kind of like similar to 100 Thieves, right? Calm wasn't doing good. Aspas wasn't looking like Aspas. Uh, King wasn't fragging at the start of the split, but after a few, after the first split, they looked really, really good. And Redman's here. What's up, dude?
What's up,
Welcome to the stream.
Redman? Yo, Redman. Hello. So yeah.
For by the way, we have a Q&A feature on Facebook and YouTube. So if you guys have any questions, go ahead and drop them in chat, and we'll get to them later. But yeah, we were talking about the Americas. I think Leviathan looked just as good as 100 Thieves, and G2. Let's be honest, man. G2 don't belong there.
Ooh.
I no
Well,
hate,
yeah.
right? I feel like they're gonna get 2-0'd by T1, then 2-0'd by whoever the hell else is gonna be their next opponent in the group stage or in the Swiss stage. Just because they just don't look very good. I mean, they got into playoffs off of a 2-round differential over Sentinels, which let's be honest, that shit was weird.
Yeah. And I'm really excited for that T1 G2, because this is going to be the guard reunion with Saya player and the rest of the
Oh
G2.
my god, yeah,
Yeah,
dude,
that's
that's
going
gonna
to be
be so good.
going to be such a good reunion, and the bragging rights as to, yeah, we just defeated T1, or we just dumpster G2, whatever narrative that would be. But for
Yeah.
as for my casting of votes for a top tier team for each region, give me Leviathan. Give me, oh, EMA is really hard.
EMEA, I think.
Give
Of course,
me
if we're going second and third seeds, right? Not talking about the first seeds. I'd
yeah.
say Foot over Team Heretics here.
Yeah, that prediction, I mean that prediction, that unfortunate event really suffered Heretics' chances of making. But we'll never
Yeah,
know. So probably give me Leviathan, Heretics, and Paper. Oh no, wait, not Paper Rex. Give me T.
T1.
Yeah, give me T1, and then give me FPX. So yeah, those are like my teams outside of the first seeds. T1, I still do believe that
I believe
internationally,
in T1.
yeah,
Yeah.
T1 internationally they still mesh together. But if you can't get your region right, might as well try it on other regions. So
Yeah.
probably they could have a chance doing their let's give Excurate the aiming.
Pacific man, it's like, what is going
What
on?
is this? What is this strat? What are you
Wait,
picking? What is this agent pool? What is this? What is this draft? Yeah, you can only see it on freaking Pacific, man.
yeah. Like I wouldn't be surprised if T1 turned out to be a top-notch team when it comes to international, right? Because they're doing everything right. Attack FPS uh strats are just coming through because Excurate, right, from CS, etc. And they're just so good. I feel like they're actually gonna do pretty well. I don't know if they'd be. No, I feel like they'd make it into playoffs, but I don't know about how their placement's gonna be at the very end. But anyway, with that being said, uh, we have the Swiss stage,
Oh,
and the Swiss stage will
predictions.
start out with 4 specific matches, which we will have predictions for today. So, well, Dash and Yuuske aren't here, so if we make fun of them, then wala silang bawi. So
Wow.
luckily for you, Salvatore, you're not gonna be the meme for tonight. But yeah, for the first match here, G2 versus T1, and yeah, take it away, Kim. I feel like to me,
I think we have the same vote for this one actually.
do we? Do we?
Yeah,
I
I
feel like
think
we
so.
should,
We have to. I mean, we did rain on the
because
parade
if
of
we're
G2 a
not, I'm
while
gonna
ago.
laugh at you. Okay.
I did vote for T1. Oh, it has to be T1.
Yeah. Although to be fair, like I feel like G2 or what was previously the guard, they look pretty good over the last few matches that they had. But I just feel like they're not on international level just yet, which is why, especially with T1 just blooming, right, in the last few matches as well of Pacific Split 1. I feel like they're just gonna 2-0 G2, if not the 2-1. But I feel like it's not even gonna be close if I'm being honest, right?
Yeah, and this is also the guard that never touched any international soil.
Man,
They've been
yeah,
dealing they've been dealing with so much of Americas for over 2 years
two
now.
years, two
Like
years, man. It was
L-
messy. I remember that they breezed through Americas, made it onto an international stage. Their first Masters bombed out because they didn't have LAN experience. I don't know if it was jitters or whatever. Right? Then they lost their coach. They lost MCE, who started coaching. I think he's coaching collegiate now, and they haven't been to an international since. After that, they got to a. They of course got into Challengers Americas. They won Ascension. The guard dropped them. G2 comes in and picks them up, and then they're here, and they've been working towards that goal, right? But like all credit, yes, you guys made it to Shanghai, but if we're being honest, man, I don't think they're ready for this.
yeah, man. And this is also like quite a roster that, I mean, looking at their VLR, their only international like fight, I don't know if this is even counted, was a Ludwig Exteric Invitational against
Oh
T1,
yeah,
who
yeah,
still had
yeah.
Munchkin and Ban. So this is still looking pretty kind of not that big of a deal for
Yeah.
for that team. So now it just has to be T1 at this point. And Dash, man, there has to
I
be
don't
some
know,
sort of
Dash. I
there
don't
has
know,
to be
dude.
I don't know, man. It's
Okay,
just so
maybe if this was
unfortunate.
League, maybe.
It just so probably he got the wrong game. I don't know. We didn't let him know what kind of game it's supposed to
I
be.
kind of feel
But
bad.
also the sad thing here is the other game T1 also swept G2. So there is no escaping the allegations and the explanations here. So Dash,
Oh, dude.
if there is time, there has to be an open explanation as to why it is not
Oh
a
man.
red team logo on that square, my
This
man.
guy
So
this guy gave us his predictions and then his table falls apart and now he's trying to fix it. And then we're roasting him on stream. God dang
oh
it.
man,
Back
oh man,
was
we have to
easy.
give this guy some slack and some break. But
Although to be fair, like what are we
that
gonna
happened
roast
to me.
here?
There was some sort of face. I don't think it was it's going to be a theme. It's not going to be a face. It's going to be a theme that I was roasted. So yeah, after going through some tough times, I'm pretty sure I'm still gonna get roasted. And Dash is just on the very low of the iceberg here. So
Yeah, this guy pulled the short straw for this time around. But yeah, that's G2 versus T1. I think we're in agreement. No strong feelings here, other than the fact that our strong feelings are G2 is just not gonna look good. But yeah, with that being said, I think moving on to the next match. This was an interesting one. Heretics versus Dragon Ranger Gaming. So for those who aren't familiar with China, Dragon Ranger Gaming is the Ascension winner of last year. So we have two Ascension winners here in uh in Shanghai, which is pretty interesting. But I I don't know if the lack of Minibu would be a would be enough of a nerf to Heretics for Dragon Ranger Gaming to win. So I don't know. So we're gonna wait for the predictions to come up. But I personally think that it Heretics will still win, but it will probably be a close game. Yeah, there you go. Because like we said earlier, we talked about pre-prediction segment, right? We talked about the fact that China has a long way to go to catch up, right?
yeah, and they essentially had a delay in laying their foundation and competitive soil. So nah, they had hope on EDG, but still EDG still can't make it work. But there is a bit of hope for EDG now that they have landed a secure spot in the playoffs. But they still have to work for that actually. So as per DRG and the other teams that are below EDG, yeah, you still gotta chase what EDG is doing, and that is at least to make a playoffs appearance. Not even completing the playoffs, just making that appearance alone. So that was a struggle for FPX in Madrid. We didn't see any uh, signs of life for FPX to even put out a good show against Loud. Well, there was a good showing for Life in Berlin, but that's just about it. It's at the end of the day, it is a five-man contribution. It's not how you deliver individually. You get to share one spotlight. So yeah, it is very very hard to dictate as to why DRG is supposed to win over Team Heretics. I don't think this is a major.
Yeah.
Well, if you're gonna look at it, if TH is going to face off Leviathan, and that's where the effect of Minibu comes into
Oh yeah,
fruition.
for sure.
But for Team Heretics and DRG, I don't think it's going to be a major issue heading into this series.
Yeah, yeah. Well, we're unanimous here, so we're gonna move on because I don't want to talk about how China's gonna get beat up. Oh man. So next we have Genji versus Leviathan. So Genji, second placer in Madrid versus Leviathan, current third seed for Americas. Who sorry, not third. They're not third. They're second, right? No, wait.
Leviathan is
They're third. Yeah, they're
third.
third.
Yeah,
They're
Leviathan
third
is
because
third.
G2 by fluke. I still think it was a fluke
Oh
that
man.
they got all the way to the finals. But hey, I mean, you got to respect it.
So
So
G
yeah,
so
I,
G2 is your Jesse Vash of America, huh? Oh man.
oh no, dude.
Oh no, shout out Jesse Vash, man.
Shout out Jesse Vash. Gotta respect him. He's still, I mean, he's a good player, but I, man, Team Secret, please, please, in Split 2, give us some hope for champions, okay? Oh man. Okay, there you go. Oh, we're split down the middle. Okay, so it's Leviathan for me and you, and those two who are on the other
Let's
side of
go.
this debate. It's
That's
gonna
why
be
you're my
Gen
goat.
G. So no one's gonna be
Wait, the other side.
counteracting our points, I guess. But yeah, I think Leviathan, right there as the super team that they are right now, who have again taken some time to mesh. Now they're looking so good, and I think it all boils down to perhaps, and I say this with emphasis, right? Perhaps Aspas finally feeling comfortable with his team, right? Because if I'm not mistaken, Leviathan's win streak started with beating Sentinels, where Aspas got the freaking what did he get? 40, no, 70 something kills in a best of three series. They 2-0'd Sentinels. He got 46 kills in that game on Lotus, which went to like 2, 3 overtimes. It was insane, right? I was sitting there. I'm a Sentinels fan. I'm like, man, Aspas is just a freaking raid boss, and
Man,
it's insane, right? You Aspas when he's on a team that works cannot be stopped. We saw it on Loud. We saw it. We're seeing it on Leviathan right now. And I just feel like the system that Leviathan has right now, they're looking like a true American super team. Uh, and I just feel like unless Genji have some stuff that are a lot more by the book that could break the more loose play style of Leviathan, then Leviathan would probably win this series.
yeah, and just looking at Aspas individually up against
My
Korean
God,
teams, so he's been doing pretty much all of the work when he was
he's
still
been
with
doing
Loud.
God's work, man.
Man, even with Loud facing against DRX for most over of 2022 and 23, he was doing so good with top tier duelists of Korea. So now he's gonna do it again with Genji, which is a very well. It's still a blank canvas. I still really don't know what is going to be the outcome of Texture versus Aspas. It's going to be epic. It's going to be a bloodbath. A lot of blood will be shed, and we are getting this in the Swiss stage. This has to be like a playoff bound matchup.
It better be, man. It better be. I mean, it is Swiss, so whoever loses the series isn't going to be going home just yet. But the way that Swiss works, for those who don't know, right, in order to move forward from the Swiss stage, you need to be able to win 2 matches before losing 2 matches. So let's say Genji loses this first one, they need to move into the 1-1 group or the 0-1 group, hope to win one series, and then hope to win the next series after that. So the Swiss stage is it's pretty grueling. It's gonna be a long grind if you don't win that first match, right? And if you lose 2 matches, then you're going home. Or I don't know if it's literally going home, or I don't know what the player arrangements are, right? Do you get to chill? You probably do get to chill at the venue if you just lose, and it's fine. But yeah, with that being said, I feel like both these teams will make it into playoffs, but I just feel like Leviathan at the moment might win over Genji.
Uh, well, this is a fever dream of a semifinals upper bracket matchup, or even or even can go as deep as the grand finals. We'll never
Oh
know,
yeah,
but we're already getting it in a way that it's such an opener for Master Shanghai. So this first is going to be very very epic. No, so
yeah.
no debates as to why I chose a Leviathan. I just really think that the roster that is built around Aspas to give him the spotlight to just go in, we'll just take care of your flank and then we'll smoke for you. That just works well with Leviathan. But as we saw with the PRX series, there's still so much to work with in a consistent basis on how you would play around texture. So Karon and Lakia was trying to fare up against Davai and Mind Freak respectively. So there was a bit of a clashing between those two. So it still ended up on game 5, but the how consistent the Vi and Mind Freak tackled so many spots for something to open up, which is really really good. So now looking at Leviathan and how they handled their own region, wow, it was such a breath of fresh air to look at Leviathan and their playstyle, and just seeing this really just is a probably could probably be a good counter to a Pacific playstyle centered around we don't know what we're gonna
Right,
do.
like
But
what look are you
we're
gonna
just gonna
show?
let the guns talk.
Yeah, man. I mean, my God, the way that Genji plays too, they're super flexible. But yeah, I just feel like Leviathan across the board are gonna outfrag, but maybe even outcall them because King is just insane. Anyway, moving on to the next matchup, we have Fun Plus Phoenix versus Foot Esports.
Oh, I'm gonna get so much flack for this. Oh my god.
Wait, okay,
Okay,
okay.
I'm gonna get so much
Uh,
flack for this, and the braveness and the gall for me to even call it a sweep. Oh my god.
this is gonna be
Uh,
so funny. It's
this
gonna be
has to
so.
be this is an obligatory meme prediction. I'm pretty sure they done this with Bleed. Man, he is he really a Bleed fan? I don't know. That has to be his personality. But for me, this has to be my this is my series to pick as an obligatory meme prediction. My copium for this is
Okay.
Cned hits a brick wall, and then Berlin and Life comes to in a duo matchup. I mean, BLG did it with NRG.
Yeah, yeah.
So
I mean, if we're being real, right? They did it to NRG.
So there has to be some good amount of hope for FPX to do it with Foot, with a roster that was just built this year, but individually they just work well together. But
Yeah.
this is FPX that overcame so many expectations and obstacles to even be enacted as the second seed, and that was a very close series up against EDG. But we just have to see how will Foot tackle the sunset, well, not the sunset, the breeze of FPX and the Icebox. So I do think that if Icebox and breeze is the common ground, if not common ground, FPX manages to pick breeze or Icebox. That's the one game FPX has a major advantage for. Other than that, it's just a coin flip at the end of the day for FPX to even get a game that is outside of breeze and Icebox.
Yeah, and come on, like if you can't set yourself up for victory, and we're go, I'm being honest, right? If you're playing against China teams, you never know what you're gonna get. I mean, China's where we first saw deadlock in pro play. Like we saw some wacky clove things happen in China too. I don't know if you've been watching VCTCN, but man, China's an interesting place, and sometimes they strike gold, and I kind of like it, right? Because the way that China, they're a much younger region, but it mostly is a disadvantage for them. But with also that being said, because it's a young region, now they are more willing to experiment because they haven't found their own formulas yet, right? They haven't gone through the same metas that the rest of the world has gone through. So now that China has their own region that they can mess around in, they can just just experiment. And it's sometimes they strike gold. I mean, we saw Bilibili Gaming beat NRG so bad that Poo John and Som um
You know,
are retired.
even artists change regions for
He
goodness sake.
went
And
back to EMEA, dude.
artist was the one to wave the flag of energy. It's just PLG. It's just CN. It's just a premature region. They just got destroyed so bad. It's just so. It's just so like a. It's just different to see that NRG manages to mess up such a lead that they already had. And that's one thing I'm looking forward to actually in the series with FPX because looking at FPX, they had a good Lotus showing against Edward Gaming, with EDG having a distinguished identity of changing so many stuff in the middle of the season, and and EDG tested to put Chichu on Reina. So that was one thing that messed up
My
EDG,
God,
and
dude.
then that was the start for Fun Plus Phoenix. And then we got a close Icebox and Bind matchup that ultimately ended with Edward Gaming finishing so strong. And then Icebox was such a close bout, 12-14. And I just really think that if FPX just gets to finish strong and not let their emotions run out, they just have so much amp from the start, from the bonus rounds, and how they handle like the buy rounds from forcing, the force rounds actually, they really have it pretty well actually. Like they're one of the few teams in CN that really tackle these eco problems really safely, much like as to how Genji like are called like the thrifty gods. Fun Plus Phoenix in their own region really do tackle these problems really efficiently. So That's one thing that they could probably look forward to foot. But let's wait for the results. It's gonna be just so good waking up looking at that scoreline if it gets to 2-0. But at the end of the day, it's still copium for me for CNED to hit a brick wall, which I do think
Yeah,
will still happen because with Navi, he did hit not just a brick wall, it was just a very, very strong wall. He didn't even lay a single foot in the sand for him to move. Oh man.
yeah.
But yeah,
Fair, fair. Yeah, although to be fair, right, I think that that old Navi roster that Cenit was on was kind of doomed from the start. But anyway, moving on. Yeah, yeah. That's gonna be it for our Shanghai Swiss stage predictions. So we have some local news. That has been hitting the Twitterverse for the longest time, right? So I don't know if you saw. I think this was last
I
May
saw this.
15, a couple of days
I
ago,
saw
right,
this.
Salvatore? If you direct your attention to the screen share, Witz, who has been off of the Nows roster, the former IGL, right, who got replaced by Eman, formerly from RRQ, right? He posted this GIF, and everyone knows that this GIF means he's been signed to a team. And in my head, I'm like, what? Where is he going? Right? There's no way he's going back to Naos, right? Because they let him go. I don't know if he's sitting on the bench. Some whispers in my ear a couple of weeks ago, or when that happened, right? When Witz was benched, there were some whispers about some roster issues, some roster drama. Uh, I don't know, man. We can't speculate. We don't know what it's like inside of the Naos team or Naos HQ. So Witz took a step back. In fact, I went to Kadaliman Cafe in uh which branch was that? Anonas, I think. Right? I went to play some Valorant because I went to Manila without my gaming laptop and I was begging for some freaking FPS games. I only had my MacBook. And I saw Witz there just chilling. And in my head, like, well, I wonder what he's doing, right? Is he just taking a step back, doing some content, and then, to my surprise, this photo comes up, and it's official. The teams that we have right now locally in challengers, I think the most logical would be to sign with Oasis, right?
Oof.
I don't know. What do
Well,
you?
I mean, looking at it in a way that you saw him in Kadaliman, there also has to be a speculation
Oh, right. There is a
of
Kadiliman team this time around, right?
yeah.
I saw Narpim's post earlier that he's gonna do his last split as a professional. Then after that, he's gonna focus on content and on his business. So yeah,
So
maybe that is too. Oh,
there has to be a chance, no? So yeah, Oasis is actually not a bad destination for Wits that could potentially give him so many keys to so many doors for opportunities to be the one to lead Oasis into what was a long-awaited rise of Oasis locally. We've been calling for it. The roster changes were already good, but come into playoffs, they just really couldn't. And Wits, a guy that has been into so much international play and just tackled so many minds inside of Valorant esports could be like a good start in a good steroid for Oasis.
steroid.
And for other teams
That's so
potential
funny, dude.
and other he could probably do it. But yeah, looking at other teams, well, just looking at the relegation season and the amount of teams
Oh man,
that
that's
could seek
spicy too.
yeah.
Oh, by the way, I
So
don't know if you saw this tweet earlier, right? So Javi 8K ongoing right now is a promotion relegation tournament that will decide who among those teams, the top six, will make it into a challenger split too. They get to actually play the league split, right?
oh,
But
Savi posted.
so I saw Javi, right? Everyone knows Javi, the young gun from DLSU versus Arcus. He posted
The
this
Dynasty Manager.
VLR photo, and you see that name below Javi's name, dude.
Yeah, I see it. I see
Now
it.
we know.
Whoa!
Now we know. As of 9:32 p.m., 2 hours ago, it was leaked because if I'm not mistaken, Witz has not announced that he's with Oasis yet. So there goes Witz. I feel like Witz would be playing the IGL here because he was previously IGL on Naos.
Yeah.
And if we're being honest, Salva, I feel like if we get the VCTPH El Clasico Oasis versus Naos, I feel like Witz would out IGL Eman, right? I don't know if it's I don't know if you agree, but for me, I just the tremendous experience that Witz has, and the fact that he knows how his former team plays, right? Would definitely play a part in the fact that man, they would probably out IGL Eman at this point. I don't know. What do you think?
And not just that. Well, I do think that that will be such a good amount of advantage for Wits heading into an El Clasico. But yeah, I do think Wits generally would just out IGL uh the whole roster, not just Eman, but the whole roster of now. It's just there
Yeah.
has to be like a mental note for every player of now how to play. And just now speaking to it, just now, I do think already Wits already has come up with a good strat to counter that. And also a reunion from Wits and Dubstep. So
Oh yeah,
you
dude.
already have a good connection between those two. And finally, a good opening for Savi to just pop off. So now you have a good IGL that could set the direction for a player that has been essentially such a young gun and a spark plug, and not just that, like let's see here. What's a good comparison to Sabi? Like the young gun that really does so much that is in need of a direction just
Yeah,
so his performance could skyrocket. That's
yeah.
one thing that probably is holding back Savi, but looking at this kind of performance, I'm really so excited for this coming split. And so many eyes will be most likely on Oasis, but let's also put into work that this is such a competitive relegation tournament I'm now seeing, because
Oh man.
new players are coming into a good position right now. You have Ivy, you have Rank L Cuties. Well, Rank L Cuties, man, they've grinded so much from Premier, and their
Yeah,
long-awaited position into qualifying for VCT is now, and they did not waste that opportunity, man. Just looking at it,
yeah.
just, wow.
So this is what it looks like right now in the promotion relegation tournament. I saw some games go on earlier. So the teams that we do know of course, Ivy League, Astro World, who are the former 1MS. If I'm not mistaken, there's only two remaining players from 1MS. Um, dang, Gian Sandy is not playing on this roster anymore. I think Astro's still here, Channy Boy is still here. Who I did see play a couple weeks back in Kings of PH, right? They look pretty good, but I can't judge too much because Kings of PH's format only requires a win on one map to make it into the main event. So they look pretty good, but I wouldn't be surprised if that was an enigma. But the current results we have right now, Rank L Cuties and Astro World being the top of their group here, Ivy League and Bestial, who have less than savory records right now. Bestial, I think, really look really good right now. I saw them look pretty insanely good with Tomix and White Cat. Actually, it's just that I think they, as a young roster, they need more time to gel together, put together a real playbook. Which is probably why they're here in the promotion relegation tournament, right? Other groups, Group B, Copa Manila and Subversive, who have at a 1-1 record right now. This is an interesting group because you can only play two games. So it's going to come down to round differential.
Oh,
APH bottom of their group because of round differential. What is that? Anyway,
yeah.
Group
Well,
C.
apparently it's not just the other regions that is suffering from this weird format. Even our own home soil is
Dude.
getting the flack of that destined format, man. When
Man.
when are we getting such a
When are we
holy
gonna get a
grail of format?
nice, clean Swiss stage or round robin or something normal? But anyway, yeah, Group C, we have Oasis and Tyrant here, top of the group. Second, and Snaps as the last. I actually don't know why we have this asymmetrical group that has one group has four, then the other two groups have three. It's just kind of weird to me. But anyway, with that being said, uh, I guess these are the top six that are moving into challengers, if I'm not mistaken.
Mm,
Yeah, that's them. So these top six. Split 2 will have Rank LQDs, Astro World, Cop Manila, Subversive, Oasis, and Tyrant, who are, interestingly enough, I haven't been watching Tyrant recently, but I do remember them playing some games a while back. I didn't even know they had a Valorant team anymore.
yeah, I'm
Do we know who's on
the
this
last
roster?
memory of me for Tyrant Esports was another game title. You know, that's that was such a while ago for me to hear Tyrant Esports and hit them here now. Well, congratulations to them for qualifying split 2.
Yeah,
But the last time I heard Tyrant Esports, they were playing for another game title.
damn. Okay,
Wow.
so their last match on record here in VLR was against Naos. My son has fallen over, and I was in what is Axe Genesis? What is this?
Oh,
Anyway,
Iris
from
Monster is playing here and here.
2022.
Whoa. Okay.
Yeah, Chowdy's here too is pretty insane. So I think there's a pretty bright future for this roster. So these guys are going to be moving forward, and Aim PH have been eliminated from Challengers PH. So these guys who were representing the south of the Philippines have been relegated out of Challengers. Ivy League Gaming be still so close, but not enough, and Snaps as well. So these are the six that are going to be moving forward. We also had some hijinks happen earlier. I don't know if you saw this clip, Salvatore,
We all
but,
saw this clip.
this was so funny. Okay, because if I'm not mistaken, it was Rockheart and Honeyglaze here. Uh, they were casting
They
this
basically
earlier. Subversive.
summarized our reactions.
It was so funny. 6'11", and at some point, right, they press the surrender button. It's so funny. It's like, to me, right, when I was watching this, I was making some kimchi fried rice, and I just heard Honey Glaze go like, "What?"
Why? And then the icing on top of the cake, the holy grail of a question, is that
Pwede
allowed?
ba yun?
Pwede
Rockhart
ba
goes like,
yun?
"Pwede
Pwede
ba
ba
yun?"
yun?
Okay,
That
okay,
question
for the
solidified.
English speakers in chat, so yeah, Honey Glaze goes what? Rockhart goes like, "Wait, is that even allowed?"
And this is a certified. This is going to the record books, man. This is going down in history. It's like
It's a real meme, dude.
it's
It's
going
a
to be a
real
meme
meme.
moment. And to add more insult to injury, in order, well, it's a good thing that Valorant is has an embedded tournament realm.
Yeah,
So
thank God.
and and the one issue here is, in order to restore the game, it took them
It took them
45
45 minutes.
minutes. What is
Yeah.
it? 25?
Okay. I don't think we mentioned, but so this was supposed to be a tech pause, but apparently Subversive accidentally pressed surrender. Which is, or if we're being honest, that shit's pretty funny, man. Can you imagine being on the other side, like, wait, did they actually give up? Is this a problem? Are they gonna fix it? What do we do?
And yeah, and for the marshals or even the organizer to think, yo, just let it slide. Might be an accident. You know, they didn't even call it like an official game.
It
So they
reminds
just
me of
they
the
called it for a restart.
what was this? Oh, I remember the Naos incident of Ascension 2023. Where their first match on stage, there was a miscom that, oh, it was gonna be ping check. So they picked up some really weird agent comms. Everyone's like, what the hell's going on? I remember I was hosting the watch party in Naos HQ. Everyone's like, are they throwing? And then this was the one broadcast day of Ascension that reached till like 2 a.m. because there were so many tech problems. So that mess happened. They had to reset. There was a 32, no, not even 30 minute, like an hour or two break, because I guess the organizers were debating on whether or not they would allow uh a remake of that map. Eventually they did, but it's just so weird.
Oh man, and this is essentially one of the mistakes that bounced back. You got that Team SMG versus EG ping check incident, that Naos incident, and this one. So we now have a collective amount of local incidents that manages to, have some breath of life at the end. This one became a meme. The Team SMG became iconic. The Naos is still an incident we still talk about today. There's still a silver lining to this, just Wabe. And that's the good thing about this. But This the not the good thing about this is, the casters buying time, because 45 minutes of
Yeah, I
just
remember that. Oh
constantly
my
yapping was
god.
whoa.
That was so funny. But yeah, with that being said, I think I wanna, yeah, remember our vision for Tag Pause was to actually give some highlights to the regions that have not been getting too much attention. I think of course we want to highlight our own region. So rank L cuties, these guys, those to look out for if you guys like watching challengers, right? Once we get to challengers, since the relegation tournament's over, Yort is extremely good here. I think he would be one of the winning factors for rank LQDs alongside Groovy. Do you know any of these players, Salvatore?
Erza is very familiar. I've been watching, and Jao is also familiar. I think I've casted one of his games as well. But it really is awe-inspiring for Rankle Cuties to grind Premier, and then be
Through
able,
Premiere, man.
yeah,
My
Premier,
God.
and be able to position themselves into split two. It's just
Yeah,
some inspirational story
that's real
for some
inspiration,
for
man.
some for some team who's also hoping to enter Valorant Challengers PH. So best of luck for Rank LQTs, one of the teams that we might be looking forward to heading into Split
Yeah,
2, not just Oasis
we will.
itself.
I think.
Yeah.
Be
We,
expect. Wait,
we
hold
might
on.
also have some
Group
good
A
amount
is
of
not done,
coverage.
right? Oh, never mind. Yeah, I
Yeah. What do you think,
mistook
just
it.
Suave? We might
Wrong math.
get some good coverage of Split 2 of
Dude,
VCTPH.
I'm so excited for Split 2 because our hearts are gonna be in this when we're covering this, right? Because we're gonna be honest, right? We might be VCT fans, but VCT page hits different, man. So I'm gonna be really excited for the episodes we have when Split 2 for Challengers PH happens. But anyway, next roster on the docket here we have Astro World, the former 1MS right now. We have uh, hmm, on this roster Ichi Solo, Channy Boy, Astro. For those who don't know Astro, this guy used to be on Nigma Galaxy, if I'm not mistaken.
Hmm.
This guy went to, yeah, he was on Nigma Galaxy back in 2021. Okay, 2021. Godlike Esports. This is a South Asia squad, right? From India, if I'm not mistaken. Then of course the buys and first Mega Saver. Now currently Astro World. I don't know if they chose this name to make fun of Astro, but hey, I wouldn't be surprised. So I mean, for this roster, I think most uh what do you call this? The most interesting, I would say player to look out for here would be Astro alongside Ichisolo, who look really good. I think Channy Boy also playing as a an initiator. There's a decent amount of power there, but right, knowing that this is they're a core of two. The first Mega Saver letting go, getting rid of Ching, getting rid of Chi Insanity, and these two choosing to continue moving forward. I don't uh and going against some of the challenges rosters that are a lot more solid. I think it's gonna be hard for them. But you have an entire split to work on it. So hopefully, for them, best of luck for them if they can keep moving forward. But yeah,
Ooh.
to look out for the players.
Oh man. Oh,
But
this is
yeah,
going to
but
be.
but again, like credit to Astroworld. They looked really good when I casted them a couple of weeks back with Ramon and Kings of PH on Predator Gaming. So I'm probably gonna be watching the playoffs of Kings of PH. I think that's happening this weekend. So you guys should look out for that if you wanna see how it goes. If I'm not mistaken, our good friend Mochii is gonna be casting that alongside Mr. Ramon. And
Whoa.
Astroworld is going to be there as well as Bestial Esports, who are not moving forward in Challengers. So we're not going to talk about them because we don't want to waste time. All
It's going to
right,
be
moving
a
on to
long
Group B.
podcast. Wow. Actually, Group B for me. Like, I really expected
Who are these
AMPH
guys?
to. That's the thing. I'm like, there's so much recognition for AMPH on skill alone for them to even have the best advantages heading into their own group, because the whole group of Group B is AMPH and others for me.
Yeah, yeah,
Oh,
it's
just looking
APH
on
and then
just looking on
Challenge and
paper.
then and Premier players, right?
Yeah. And
And they lost. They're in third place only because, and I say this with
with some
emphasis,
base,
only because of the round differential, dude.
they just need 6 rounds, man. Oh way.
Minus 20.
In their head, they're calculating what were those 6 rounds.
Man, dude, man. And I mean, APH, they're just so good, right? As the representatives of South of the Philippines, right? Cebu, Mindanao. For those who don't know, all AMPH stands for All in Mindanao. Okay. So you got Haemorrhage here, Magics who look really good, Nasty as well. I mean, dude, if I'm being honest, this entire roster, they're just really, really good. And I'm surprised that they are out of it all because of, I say this again, round differential. Like, what?
And this
Right.
has to be a fuel for them, you know. One of
Damn.
the
Oh,
one
shout
of
out to
the
Merak, good friend of mine from Cavite, who's oh, she's in Cavite, but she's managing the Mindanao team.
Yeah, this has to be a fuel for APH to claw their way again to challengers and hopefully
Yeah,
ending up on next year's split.
maybe
Man.
Ascension, right? Anyway, that being said, Group B, I think these guys are practical no-namers, so I'm gonna be looking forward to you know, getting to know them during Challengers Split too. You know, to see who's gonna be moving on to possibly Ascension. We don't know. Anyway, Group C, Oasis, of course, part of the El Clasico. There you go. He's on VLR right
He's
now, still wearing the
updated.
Naos jersey on his photo.
That
Right,
might have to
so
change soon.
hey, what is that? It's a six-player roster right now. Dubstep Witz, Marquee, Javi, Oreo, Kelly.
So Oreo
Dang,
is sitting on the
cracked.
bench, right? If I'm not
I think
mistaken.
Oreo's playing on the bench right. Hey, wait, we can check Javi's.
Okay.
Yeah, while Oreo's on the bench right now, so they have two bench players for Oasis. And you can see the staff actually here looking pretty interesting. Yeah, I think the 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 depth of a coaching staff really talks about how it's testament to how much work is being done behind the scenes, right? Because a lot of people don't realize the value of a coach, right? Some need a strategic coach, some need a mental coach, some need a motivational coach. You know, there's so many different ways to approach the thing, and when you have this kind of staff, three people on your staff, right? I guess it's safe to assume that all you have all the bases covered. So I think this Oasis squad for this split, dude, they're the team to look out for. Yes, I know that Zol won last split, right? They beat Naos, they beat Oasis, and Oasis looked very bad. They got kicked out of playoffs very early. Then Zol went on to win the whole thing. So things were spicy last split. So I guess maybe that's what called about the change of signing Wits, right? And man, Wits as the IGL for this team, I feel is gonna be absolutely insane. Look at this. Who do they beat? 2-1 Tyrant, 2-0 Snaps, and against Tyrant. Oh, their mind's just not solid yet. But I mean, Wits was technically signed 2 days ago, bro. So it's like when you give this guy time to cook, right, along with a full coaching staff, I feel like Oasis right now they're the freight train that's gonna crash
Oh,
into a Tesla, right? Whoever their next opponent is just a Tesla standing on a freaking railroad. It's gonna get crushed to
yeah.
bits
This is an
when the
Oasis
collision
still
happens,
charging
right?
the cannons for them to unleash hell in Split 2. We're just seeing like the bottom of the iceberg here in relegation tournament.
Yeah,
So the amount of matchups in my head, just looking at how the duelist IGL combo will be played out here in Split 2 is so unlimited and indefinite that this might be like the
it's
most
gonna be
competitive split
so interesting.
of VCTPH in a
Yeah,
while. So
like
it has always been Naos. It has
it's
always
always been
been
Nao's Oasis, but now we have Zol looking really good after that,
yeah.
after that first split, and now it's kind of trying to pick up the pieces. Because you remember, I don't know if you remember, right? During split one, Naos looked extremely good when they first signed Eman, right? They went on I honestly, I had my doubts on Eman, right? Because uh, he's a really young guy. I think he's younger than I am. But I guess the tier one experience has helped him out. But it wasn't enough, right? Maybe they were working on the that honeymoon spirit, because when you first sign a roster, it usually does work out well for at least a few matches, then it falls off, and that's happened. Now, uh, they're kind of in the gutter. So I don't know if Naus is gonna make any changes. Maybe not. Maybe they just want to give it a little more time. So
Yeah.
that being said, Tyrant also looks pretty spicy. They're gonna be moving into challengers here, and we have Chase. This guy's from Glab, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh yeah, he was with Game Lab
Yeah,
for
there you
last
go.
year. But did he play? I don't think he played like
Did he
for Game Lab.
not play
I
with
think
Game Lab?
he was a
Is he just a
bench.
sub?
I think he was a sub 4 because it
Oh
was
no, he played. He played. He played.
oh yeah, he played. Okay. So
There you go. His
that memory
last
serves
match
me right
with
now.
Glab was against Oasis.
Oh,
Huh.
okay. So okay, there we go. I remember it now.
Yeah. And
Wow.
that Glab roster was really good. I remember Owen QT just being a stellar IGL that split. I think Glab is definitely one of the orgs to look out for. But if I'm not mistaken, Owen QT is not even on Glab anymore.
Yeah, he's on a whole new different roster now,
But he looks
which I
so
do,
good.
which I do think it still works.
Yeah.
When you really give Owen Cutie so many props for him, you're gonna see a whole new society in the head of Owen Cutie. So he does so much for a team, and that's one of the few things he did for Old Stinky Cat. So they now have another chance for the split. They just fell short quite a bit. This is this is also one of the iterations of Game Lab where they strike tremendously, taking down the Titans in
Yeah.
in the group stages, and then when they enter into playoffs, they just couldn't make it work, and they just fell short. So now
Yeah.
this might be a new version of OSC we might see, but who knows?
Yeah. There's a thing that you need to think about as well. When you have a roster that can take down Titans, it's a question of whether or not you have the ability to win in that same form consistently for a long period of time. Because, for example, our favorite Team Secret, right? They can take down Paper X, but they bombed out of playoffs during the first match, right? It doesn't matter if you can take down the Titans if you're not consistent enough to move through playoffs to make it to the grand finals and to win. So I think that's what's missing for Owen Cutie and OSC as a whole. But anyway, yeah. With that being said, back to Tyrant Esports, we got kind of sidetracked here. So Nier is here. Nier's a very good player. I think these on this roster in particular, you want to look out for Iris Monster, Chase, and Nier.
Very familiar names, man. And these are just the names that I've been seeing in local circuits. I think Iris, Near, and oh wait, no, so it's Iris and Near and Gabo. I think I casted their games in Leviathan Trials.
Oh,
Uh,
and yeah, the Naus
yeah,
Arena
and
one,
now
yeah.
yeah, so uh that might be something to look forward to. And they played really well. So looking at it in a way that they did something in tier 2 and seeing them now flourish in what's supposedly like the gateway to tier 1, man, amazing stuff for Tyrant. Being able to build around the roster like this one, like the names that really pops off when you hear their name.
Yeah. So I'm really looking forward to the split too, to see what these teams who have newly been promoted and the teams who are trying to fight off relegation, who have fought off relegation rather, namely Oasis and Astro World, what they have to bring to split two. Because I want another good ascension run. We had Naus last year kind of fall short in playoffs. Maybe Witz can do it again with Oasis. We don't know, but I think that's probably most we can talk about right now. Because if I'm not mistaken, Split Two doesn't start till June. Oh, it's here on VLR. Yeah, it doesn't start till June, and in June we have Zol Naus, Just Us, Old Sticky Cat, Just Us. This is the
That's the
Kadiliman
Narpim.
roster.
Yeah, that's the Narpim roster.
They're gonna be named KDM for this next split, if I'm not mistaken, as per Narpim's Facebook post earlier today. Then we got Rank LQDs, Astroworld, Oasis, and Tyrant. For these two, oh, there's still a chance actually. Two more teams out the promotion relegation. Wait, what? Really? What does that mean? What does that mean?
Wait,
Is it Alpha Manila and Subversive? Or is oh there has to be a tiebreaker, right?
wait. You mean it's still not finished?
Apparently not. Look
Well,
here. It
this
still
is the
says
last.
TBD.
This is the last day of broadcast, or is it not updated? Well, Astro World is already there.
We'll find out next week.
Let- Let's let's see. But
I yeah. Wait, what does that
uh,
look like? Yeah, in the promotion relegation tab, Group B hasn't been updated. I don't know if it's because they want the tiebreaker here, or if whoever was holding on to VLR right now hasn't updated it.
knock knock.
Knock, whoever it is. I hope we get the info next week. But yeah, with that being said, I have nothing much else to say. I think that covers all our topics for this week. Condolences to Yuuske and Dash who never made it to the podcast, which is pretty funny considering this is possibly no, this is definitely our shortest episode so far. So with that being said, Speech of Suave here with Salvatore. We'll see you next week on Tech Pause, where we will most probably have a full roster of hosts again. So if you guys have not followed us on our socials, go ahead and follow us on YouTube and on Facebook, so you don't miss any of the yapping.
That's what we
None of
do.
that
That
yapping.
was.
Yeah. With that being said, we're gonna be bidding you guys adieu and good night. Happy Friday, TGIF, for those who are out there drinking on a Friday night. But man, I'm gonna be going to sleep. What are you gonna be doing tonight, Salvatore? I know you're tired.
I might. Well, I still have some adrenaline in me. I might play some games first, and then hopefully the adrenaline drains off, and then I sleep because tomorrow is a huge day, and
What do you got
you'll
tomorrow? What's going
you'll
on
just see.
tomorrow?
You'll just see. I still am contractually not obligated to not say it. You'll say it. You'll see it tomorrow.
Still got an NDA. My boy on the rise. Anyway, with that being said, good night, happy weekend. See you guys next time. Just Suave and Salvatore and the rest of Tech Pause out.
Yeah, that's a cool episode.